Hello, this is Marcus. Just got a couple of things to mention before the pod starts. It's a little bit more adult themed than usual, so maybe if you have little kids around, maybe cover their ears with cotton wool or whatever. And finally, if you listen to the end, I've done a special arty remix of Tom's track Star Splitter, so you can hear that then.
I know it's rubbish. Isms, juxtapose, didactic. Mona is rubbish. Mona is rubbish podcast.
Right, hello and welcome. Let's do it with full, fast, quick, snappy energy. Hello and welcome to episode number 75 of Modern Art is Rubbish. Are you right, Tom?
Yeah, I guess I'm all right, yeah. I can't complain about anything.
No, you can't, and you're all happy because you like watching England play, didn't you? And they won their football thing, didn't they? Which I didn't watch.
Yeah, it was like really good, but yeah, there we go.
There we go. So, got a few things, as it's been a little bit of time since we've been on the mic. So got three couple of news stories. One kind of like a bit controversial art piece.
Oh.
Yeah, some bloke being basically, I think, a bit misogynist. We've also got a theft and recovery, and also we've got someone who I think is slightly overvaluing his artwork, a famous 80s pop star. And what we're going to talk about first is Kurt Cobain.
Ooh.
Now, you like Kurt Cobain. I like Kurt Cobain. I like him. I like his guitar. I like his guitar playing, actually. And I like his singing. And I like Nirvana.
Yeah, I like he played a Fender. I liked his Fender.
Yeah, so all in all, we like it. But basically, quite recently, a drawing, a caricature of himself, went on for sale. And Tom, you got the picture there. Can you see that? The picture of Kurt Cobain, which we will put a link to on the website, of Kurt Cobain playing the guitar. Can you see that?
Oh, yeah. It's like a kind of, what would I call it, like a funny pencil drawing that you've just scribbled in your maths lesson.
Instead of his teeth looks like he's kind of got a harmonica in his mouth, and he's a sort of stick man, and he's got the words written on it: Kurt Cobain, rock star, I don't know how to play, and I don't give a hoot. So it's kind of like a ironic, self-referential piece. I think I'm probably giving it too much credence. It's just somebody's just scribbled down it on a bit of paper. Well, anyway, it went for £199,000, $281,000 at an auction. That's more than 28 times its estimated value. I don't know.
Yeah, who drew it? Kurt Cobain drew it himself?
Yes.
Yeah.
It's a bit like John Lennon, some of John Lennon artworks, but I think John Lennon artworks are better. I prefer them. I'd rather have a John Lennon artwork.
Yeah. Why is that to do with the person or the actual artwork?
It's got to be the person. It's got to be the person because, quite frankly, it's all right. It's nice. I would probably pay more. I mean, his guitar went for quite a lot. I'd probably pay more for his jumper. I liked his jumper that he wore on MTV Unplugged.
What, is that the red and black stripy one?
No, I think, didn't he have another one? Was it more of a beigey kind of number?
Oh, probably, yeah. I'm confused with all his cardigans and jumpers.
Yeah. He had some nice... So I think a nice Kurt Cobain jumper would be nice, but this ain't $199,000. I'm sorry, just to pay that for something to say it's Kurt Cobain's.
Yeah, no, exactly. It's Kurt Cobain's, and like there's quite a big market for like fan art, isn't there?
Yeah. Well, yeah, there is. I mean, Ed Sheeran's, I think, sold. Didn't we mention that? Sold for about $9,000, and he does like kind of like abstract expressionist kind of works now. but I wouldn't pay much money for it. I think I prefer Kurt Cobain's to Ed Sheeran's, but that's not really saying much, is it really? By any art standard. No. So that was Kurt, man. Kurt, man. Right, on to the next one. Tom, police, Greek police have just recovered 3 stolen artworks. You knew about that, didn't you?
Yeah. Did we mention the story about them getting stolen earlier in an earlier episode?
No, because it was 2012. 2012 is even time before modern art is rubbish. That's going back. That's back in the Smiths.
Yeah, days of yore.
Yeah, when they were just all coming out of their caves and discovering fire and all that stuff.
Yeah.
So basically, they've recovered 3 stolen artworks: a Picasso, a Mondrian, and a work by Guillermo Caccia. And they've arrested a 49-year-old man. And apparently, he spent like half a year planning the operation, which actually took place in Athens in 2012, as I said. So basically, I think he spent his time sort of probably watching guards and noting their movements and shift patterns. Because I know that because they do a montage for robbery movies and they always watch the shift patterns of guards. So I'm assuming that's what he did. And then he also checked for cameras. And in 2012, I think security is probably more lax than it is now. And there were cameras up, but they didn't cover every sort of area. So there were bits where he noticed where, you could get in and not be seen. What was quite clever is on the night of the robbery, he set off a false alarm in another part of the building. And sent the security staff off to that part of the building, and then he sneaks into the other entrance or whatever it is, and he stole the works. I wonder how he did that. Do you reckon he had like a really long arm and he just poked it round the window and then ran round the back?
Yeah, possibly. He probably got Kurt Cobain to design him the arm.
Oh yeah, well Kurt Cobain clearly. Actually, if you had a longer arm like the one that Kurt Cobain's playing his guitar with, it would have worked. I think it would have worked actually. Yeah, a nice long arm. But of course, he got caught by the long arm of the law.
But
I'm sorry. I'm so sorry for that. But apparently, the guy he stole these, but he didn't want to sell the pieces. It seems that he was actually just an art lover, so he just sat on them and sort of thought, "Oh, this is nice."
I could sit and watch these for years.
Yeah, sit and look at them. But there is one thing that I did debate his complete art lover credentials, because apparently he did actually flush the work by Caccia down the toilet.
Oh, come on, man. That's easily done.
Yeah. I reckon he was admiring it while he was on the loo, and it just slipped off and fell in the loo. That's what I would... I've done that. I've got art books wet. And I have actually dropped a book down the toilet, a little one, but I have. It was the Little Book of Calm. I was holding it and it slipped out my fingers and fell down the toilet.
Did you get it out again?
Yeah, I did. It's in to anyone who's been in my bathroom, it's actually still there. But it was after I flushed, so I considered it clean. I don't know if that means it's clean, but anyway, that's disgusting. And I've just talked about that. I'm sorry if anyone's eating or drinking fluids. So the other thing as well is apparently that may have influenced him is the police said it would have been impossible to sell, particularly the Picasso that was stolen, because on the back of it had the words "For the Greek people, a tribute by Picasso" was written on the back. I'm not sure how that stops that from being sold illegally, though. If it's got those words on the back, but apparently the police said it did. It would have done.
Oh, but yeah, because it was like personalised to the gallery.
Yeah. I don't know. I mean, the thing is, as I say, normally you sell these they're used for collateral in drug deals, aren't they? So a drug dealer will exchange, as I've said before on a few pods, a drug dealer will exchange an artwork for a fraction of its value. So say a 10 million artwork will become a 5 million artwork, and they'll give it to the drug dealer, and the drug dealer will hold on to it and waiting for the other person to go and sell the cocaine or whatever he's passed on, and then when they give them the money back, they give them the artwork back. So it's kind of like a collateral thing. So I don't know.
Yeah, well, I wouldn't know. I don't know why you're asking me about that. I know nothing about that.
Oh, sorry, Tom. Yeah, no. I'm sorry, Tom, for asking. Yeah, I don't know why we know this.
Yeah, I don't know. So he wasn't a drug dealer then?
No, he wasn't. He was an art appreciator, and he actually. I don't want to make him sound like, oh, well, what a nice guy, he cared about the artwork. But apparently the artwork was actually recovered by the police quite recently. And he'd wrapped them up carefully in plastic, so to make sure they were protected, and then hid them in a dry riverbed. So when the police...
Yeah, so they somewhere where they won't get wet.
Yeah. Yeah, it's like a dry. I think he's assuming that there's never going to be water coming back to that dry riverbed. So so they're well protected in plastic, and he's obviously taken quite a lot of care to protect them.
We love art thieves on Modern Art is Rubbish, don't we?
Yeah, we do.
Yeah, we've got to be honest about it. We both love these stories.
I don't think anyone should do it though, or I think no one should nick art, because it's not fair, because no one gets to see him. That's the official Modern Art is Rubbish policy.
I don't know if it is, man.
No,
I think our policy is, we like stories about nicking it. Just make the story good.
Yeah, you're right. I do kind of think when I see a story about an art theft, I think, that's great, that'll be really good for the pod. I don't think this is terrible. It's So anyway, you've got this art thief who's taken a lot of care of the artwork. It's a shame that the police, it seems, didn't take the same amount of care. I mean, you've got
police, boo-hoo-hoo, bloody police.
Use horrible people recovering stolen artworks for the nation. Basically, they, you got like what's probably like a £10 million artwork, and another maybe 5 million by Mondrian and a 10 million by Picasso. I'm just making up numbers, but multi-million pound paintings. And they didn't really keep them safe when they put them on display, because basically the Picasso, while it was on display, fell on the floor.
Yeah, that just backs up my point. The police, boo-hoo-hoo, bloody idiots, like dropping Picassos on the floor. Give it to that proper art fan. He knew how to look after it.
Yeah, in a dried up riverbed, in a plastic bag. I mean, the thing they displayed it on was like a kind of countertop. It's a bit like those, I thought it was a bit like those ones where you go to a coffee bar and you stare out the window, sit on a high stool, and you've got like that kind of countertop in front of you. And I thought, that's not really where you should be displaying artwork. You really need like specially brought in easels. Yeah, so that's the mystery, and it's good. It's all good that those artworks are back. Something I may talk about in another pod, which is quite interesting, is Mondrian. I don't know if a lot of people are quite familiar with him, but Piet Mondrian, he's very famous for doing like a lot of geometric sort of square and rectangular shapes of many different colours, his paintings. And this is one of his early works. It's actually a picture of a landscape with a mill. And it's what I find really interesting about Mondrian's work, is he started off doing these works that are quite representational, and gradually over the course of his career he broke the image down into more abstracted shapes until it's basically just like blocks of blue against blocks of red, with lines intersecting through them.
Kind of like as his eyesight deteriorated as he got older, perhaps.
Well, I don't know if that was the case, but actually you say that. But Matisse, another famous artist, as his eyesight and his hand coordination sort of like started to fail, he used to do like bigger and bigger cutouts. So I don't think it was the case in Mondrian, but it certainly does. I mean, there certainly is changes in with artists, and their eyesight does affect how their art develops and their age. You look at like Michelangelo's later work; it's quite shaky. I like it, but it's definitely influenced by his age.
Yeah. So it's a bit more trippy.
I don't know.
Is it? I don't know.
I think his trippy phase was when Adam and what was it? The hand of Adam and God reaching out. Was it I thought the Sistine Chapel was his trippy phase. There's some trippy Bible stuff going on there. Yeah.
Yeah, well, it's pretty trippy, the Bible, isn't it?
Bible is, yeah. There's a lot of trippiness going on there.
Yeah. Come on, let's do next story then.
Now a short advertisement break.
Tom, we've got one final thing that I want to put up. Can you do us a favour, Tom? Can you display this turtle art print that I've got here?
Yeah, I don't have an easel though.
Well, yeah, just you'll figure something out. Can you just go and do it?
Okay, look, I'll lean it against this wall here. Lovely, that'll be safe. Oh, it looks a little bit wobbly. Oh no!
Tom, what the hell have you done? Tom, you've ruined it. It's fallen on the floor. All you had to do was put it up somewhere safely. It was easy. And now you've flaming ruined it.
Yeah, sorry, man. You just got to go and print out another one.
How'd you do that then?
Head over to modernartisrubbish.com, sign up for the mailing list, and print out another one.
So just head over to modernartisrubbish.com and subscribe to our email list to get your free artwork and to be updated on the latest Modern Art is Rubbish news. Right. So, this is interesting. The work was recently removed from display from a Shanghai gallery. It was a video installation created by the artist Song Ta, and the work was called Ugly and Uglier. And basically what this artist did was it featured 5,000, this is well dodgy, just thinking about the concept. It featured 5,000 video clips of different women, and they were basically secretly filmed going about their daily business at university. And then basically he ranked them as to how attractive you found them. So
yeah, so what is it like? So it was controversial, wasn't it?
Yes.
So like you don't like it. You like agree with the controversy that it was really bad.
Yeah. Because
well, what about from an artistic perspective? It is kind of like representative of like a lot of our society and attitudes to like young women.
Well, that was his.
That was his defence.
Well, that was something he actually said. That he was entitled to tell the truth of how people do it. But I think it was like when his team, as they were sorting out the actual videos into rank, they put things. I can't remember exactly what was said, but it was things like like pig ugly and really awfully ugly, and they had like different categories of ugliness. So I felt it kind of undermined his argument that he's showing how people rank it. He's showing what is.
What the word ugly undermined it?
No. When they were sorting out the videos into rank order, because they're shown from 1 to 5,000, they were using like quite derogatory descriptions, like sort of like unforgivably ugly and stuff like that to actually sort out the work, to prepare the work. And also he did make a comment to the reference that you want to get there. You don't want to get there too at a certain time of day because you end up just being confronted with loads of ugly kind of people.
Yeah, so really it's important to get there first thing for the beginning of the video.
Well, yeah, that's.
I guess it's quite a long video.
Yes, it is.
And if you're into like really like pig ugly women, you can wait till later in the afternoon to go to the gallery.
As an artist, I'm going to give you a thing. As an artist, beauty is truly in the eye of the beholder. And actually, I found out that the more you do portraits, I know this sounds like kind of like, oh, no, you're just saying this, but it's true. The more you do portraits, the more you realise that actually beauty is a really, really, really subjective thing. Attraction may be different, but actual physical beauty is, attraction is a subjective thing as well, but beauty, you find so much beauty in so many different faces.
Yeah, I mean, otherwise all like, you know, models on a catwalk, you know, whatever sex would all look the same, wouldn't they? But they don't.
No, they don't. But it's this thing about golden ratio and stuff, you know, that apparently, you know, the most symmetrical faces are supposed to be the most attractive. I don't necessarily think that's the case. So, anyway.
Nor did Picasso.
No, nor did Picasso. Yeah.
Yeah, so like it got like a lot of controversial attention, and then it got like taken down, and the gallery apologised. Is that right?
Yes. Well, what really gets me with the gallery is it's as they said, because it was a piece that came out a few years ago, but they were re-showing it, and there was a lot of criticism, and I think justifiably so, and. The gallery stated, after receiving criticism, we re-evaluated the content of this artwork and the artist's explanation. We found it disrespected women and the way it was shot has copyright infringement issues. So, yes, I think there is the copyright issue. I think, again, also their statement, I don't think the artist, maybe if he'd worded it slightly differently, as you say about the piece, it could have been said, well, look, this is actually what goes on, and showed people that this is wrong. Look, this is literally what we're doing. We're going out and we're rating people in our head, and we're objectifying them when we're on the street, and we're not thinking these are human beings with real feelings, real emotions, and, you know, and also the fact that how subjective looks are as well. He didn't seem to be making those messages. He was just saying, look at this. Here's 5,000 women, and this is who I find the most ugly, and this is who I find the most beautiful.
But there was a response to the work by a female artist.
Oh yes, there was. Now, I'm not. There's a good article that I read on this artist, and it's in Vice, and I'll put a link to it. And basically, it seems that there's quite a lot of misogyny going on in China, as there is everywhere in the world, let's face it. But the point is in China, there's quite a big problem, and women are feeling increasingly powerless, so they're taking more and more sort of like I don't know if extreme's the right word, but more sort of positive action, and penis shaming is one of their things that they do. And there's a woman artist called Xin Yutong who created a work in response, and it's called A Guide to Identifying Vegetables. I quite like this. And in the artwork, she actually ranked artists' penises, scoring them out of 100. So she took several artists and ranked their penises, scoring them out of 100, and assigning them a vegetable to represent the artist's manhood. Basically, the score is that anything below 50 was considered a poor score. So I suppose you've got a poor. I don't know if that means that what her performance criteria is, but
poor penis.
Yeah, poor penis. I don't know why I'm feeling sorry for an unknown poor penis, but there you go. So how she presented the work was she showed a picture of the artist's work in question alongside a picture of the represented vegetable. So Ai Weiwei, who's that? I mean, an incredible Chinese artist. I love his work. If you don't know who he is, you should check him out. I will put a link so people can see it. I think we could do a whole show on the guy, quite honestly, because he's so good. And now he got 56.2 and she chose sweet potatoes to represent his manhood. So 50, that's quite harsh. 56.2 to such a cool guy, giving him such a low penis score.
Yeah, but it's not about the. I mean, who cares about the guy? We're talking about like vegetables and penises.
Yeah,
That's the point, though, isn't it?
Yes. Well, we are. You know, the artist. She said, you know, she admits in this way, objectify men in this way. She said it's almost like it's an act out of helplessness. It's basically like, look, you do this to us all the time, and no, this is almost like a reaction to that, and it's a reaction particularly to Song Tar's piece. Now, what got me, and reading the article in Vice, which we'll put a link to, got me as well, was she gave Song Tar 68 and an eggplant. Now, bear in mind that's out of 100. That's not a bad. She's given him a higher score than Ai Weiwei.
Yeah. So, did she request pictures of these penises from the artist themselves?
No,
or were they secretly filmed?
No, basically, she's just imagined what she's used her imagination. I imagine. I don't think she's gone and checked out their packages.
All right, yeah. So it's not quite so. I was kind of imagining when I heard about it that there'd be pictures of penises in the. Was it a film or just a series of images?
No. So it's actually as I said, they're like photographic installations. So she's got the artwork, an art. So say like a piece of work by Ai Weiwei, and then there's a picture of sweet potatoes in the frame next to it, and just the rating below. That's how the work's presented.
Oh right, okay, yeah.
So you can have a nice little.
You don't get to go and check out some penises next to vegetables then.
No.
Because that would be quite funny, wouldn't it?
Well, yeah, I don't think I would want to go and see penises next to vegetables personally. But that's me.
Yeah, it's not a sentence I ever thought I'd hear anyone say, but let alone you. But I'm glad to know that.
Right.
I think I would. I think I'd definitely go and see like penises next to vegetables. I mean, you only live once, don't you?
So on to our final article. Luke Goss. You know Luke Goss, don't you? Do you know Luke Goss, the actor and musician? Multiple.
Yeah, not personally, but I saw the documentary on whatever channel it was on.
Oh, that's incredible. Yeah, I've got some quotes from that. We'll talk about that just after talking about his artwork. So basically, Luke Goss and Matt Goss, now they were for people who don't know them, they were in a band that was massive in the 80s. And famous for their song "When Will I Be Famous?" A huge band. Actually led to a lot of kids putting the tops of beer bottles on their shoes, called Grolsch. They were actually like the thing, and people would put beer bottle tops on their shoes because Bros was so massive. Did you know that?
I didn't know nothing about the beer bottle tops.
Well, it's a bit.
But I remember the screaming fans.
Yeah, but it's a similar time.
It was a bit like Michael Jackson level fame. It
was ridiculous, and everyone had their beer bottle tops on their shoes, and similar to people who nicked VW badges. In reference to the Beastie Boys and put them round as like medallions round their necks. So it's a bit like that. So anyway, Luke and Matt Goss, they've been showcasing 18 artworks called Love and Faith. That's like the group show name. And basically he's got into painting. Luke Goss got into painting when he was in lockdown, and he thinks it's not bad. I mean, looking at the artwork, it's kind of like quite golden. I don't think it's terrible art. Do you know what I mean? But it doesn't, it doesn't blow me away. But anyway, what you do is you can go in there and you'll get our favourite word, NFT, a non-fungible token. So you'll get a digital sort of like a token, and then you'll also get a signed silkscreen print to go with the digital token, and that's basically it. But what's quite interesting is the foundation, or the company behind the production of the NFTs for this work, has valued the collection at £291 million. Do you think?
What, just his work?
The 18 paintings. I mean, that is kind of like Mondrian, Picasso level kind of prices. I'm wondering. I think it's just for promotion reasons, because that's just ridiculous. That is utterly ridiculous for a new artist. It doesn't matter how famous they are.
Yeah, but I mean, in like future years, that might be nothing in terms of value. It might be like a future value when, like, that's how much like a packet of crisps costs.
Oh no, you mean like like Weimar Germany, where you'd get paid in the morning and you'd actually have to rush out and buy your stuff, because by the evening you wouldn't be able to buy a loaf of bread with the same money. That kind of level.
Exactly. You wanna get his paintings now before they're worth like they'll be worth trillions by tomorrow.
Yeah, if every other painting in the world was destroyed and that was the only one left, was for some reason that Luke Goss, and there is quite a glow around the Bross brothers, perhaps there's a protective glow around his paintings. If every other painting in the world was destroyed and they were the only ones left, that would be a bargain, 291 million.
Yeah, I don't know. I guess so, man. I guess if there were no paintings, it'd just be like, what's the point in having the only one?
Well,
I mean, who would care anymore? You'd be like, I'll just do my own art.
Yeah, but you wouldn't, because in my imagined scenario, there is no there's no means of creating new paintings. That's it.
Oh, right, yeah. So it's like some, it'll go in the Natural History Museum then, wouldn't it? It's
like Tutankhamun's death mask. There's only one of them.
Yeah, so like, the Chinese would probably come and rob it off us for their museum.
No, well, that's assuming a lot, that the Chinese would rob Matt and Luke Goss's
well, I don't know. Well, the British Empire would, I guess,
rest assured it would end up in the British Museum.
Yeah.
So anyway, I thought I'd like to share this, slightly not on the art topic, but I watched that documentary as well, and I thought it was an absolute classic. It's called After the Screaming Stops. It's a documentary about the band Bross. Didn't you think it was good? I thought it was excellent. So I really did.
Yeah, it was really, really funny.
Yeah,
and like it was made like it wasn't supposed to be funny.
Yes.
But it was hilarious, and I think they must have like done it intentionally like that, because it was so good, wasn't it?
Well, I don't know. It's hard to know, because I like there's a lot of rivalry between them, Luke and Matt. So that was always like quite a thing. And famously, they paid their bass player, a guy called Craig Logan, £1 million because he wanted to leave the band when they were famous, and then they weren't so famous after he left. So they famously lost all their money in the 80s because apparently they didn't know the difference between net and gross profit, which is something I recommend anyone who has any kind of business or is self-employed know the difference between net and gross profit. Is that good advice?
Yeah, well,
Tom?
if you had a business, you would know, wouldn't you?
Well,
but I guess I guess they were kids, weren't they, at the time?
Yeah, because they were asking questions like, when will I be famous, even though they were already famous, so they were quite naive.
Yeah.
But do you know what I really loved about the documentary was it was full of wisdom, and I've got some of the quotes of real wisdom. I think we can all learn from the wisdom of Luke and Matt Goss. And for instance, this saying was, something he said in the film, right? And he said, Luke Goss said, Rome wasn't built in a day. Are you ready for this, Tom? This is so wise. Have you got a pen and paper ready?
It's all right. I'm recording this.
Yeah, oh, cool. Oh, yeah, of course we are. We can listen to it again on the podcast. So Luke Goss said, this is a clip, he said, Rome wasn't built in a day, but we don't have time that Rome had.
All right. Yeah. Well, it's quite relevant to the state of our planet, isn't it? They had a couple of thousand years more than us at the moment, didn't they?
Oh, maybe it's more profound.
Yeah.
Talking about climate change. Yeah, maybe I am. What about this one? This is from the Matt Goss. The letters HOME are so important because they personify home.
Yeah, oh man, that's that annoying bit of art you see in everyone's HOME, isn't it?
So, Tom, so concludes our thing. So, I think we should play out with, we've got a special announcement, which I will put at the start of the pod as well, actually. Got a special announcement, Tom. We've done I've kind of mixed one of your songs, haven't I? I have. I've done a remix of the song Star Splitter. And you can listen to it now on Spotify. So if you listening could go on to Tom's page on Spotify, I'll put a link on the website to it, and like and follow his music and have a listen to the remix of his song that I've done, and we'll play a little bit of it now. But before we go, please head over to Modern Art is Rubbish, where you can find all our social media stuff. modernartisrubbish.com. And thank you for your listening to me and Tom. So
Well,
Tom,
you're welcome, man.
So here it is, Tom. Star Splitter, the Marcus AS remix by OB Tom Robot Marcus saying goodbye. You saying bye, Tom?
No, I was just sitting there quietly.
Oh, okay.